Olympic star Cindy Ngamba opens up on arriving in Bolton as a child refugee to winning boxing bronze in Paris, and when she plans to turn professional. The sign at the bottom of the stairs leading up to the elite boxing gym in Bolton states, "Leave your ego at the door," and no one reaching the top of the flight can be in any doubt about what's expected inside. If you are 15 minutes late, coaches have the right to turn you away, relates another message at the door behind which champions have been honed. Cindy Ngamba, who has been training here for 5 years, is comfortable with that. Not so long ago, she was fitting in training at the gym around a working life which entailed catching a bus from Bolton to Bury, taking a second bus on to Burnley, then opening out her fold-up bike and cycling to the Boohoo warehouse to work night shifts. It was a 6-hour round trip. "I had my mum for inspiration," Ngamba says. She leaves home at 5 a.m. to be at the market in Sceaux, outside Paris, where she works. Alex Matyenko, who's been running elite boxing for 20 years, recalls few fighters with a determination quite like Ngamba's. "She told us she just wanted to work and get bigger challenges," he says. "That made her so coachable." Her success in boxing tournaments Matyenko staged were a precursor to her making history at the Paris Olympics, this summer, by becoming the first ever medalist for the refugee Olympics team. There was no mention of Ngamba when the shortlists were published for the BBC's Sports Personality of the Year last month, though her accomplishment was as significant as anyone within our shores in 2024, given her journey and the timing of its final stages. She should have at least been a contender for that prize. As Ngamba prepared for her Olympic 75 kg quarter-final fight against Frenchwoman Davina Michel at the Roland Garros Olympic boxing venue in July, Bolton was reeling from disorder whipped up by the racist influencer Tommy Robinson and others, in the aftermath of the Southport stabbing attack which claimed the lives of 3 children. The elite gym had set up a big screen, to which the people of the town had been invited to watch Ngamba's fight, but those plans were placed in jeopardy. Police had asked people to avoid a major thoroughfare which was a route to the gym for many, Chorley New Road, because of the risk of potential flashpoints. Ngamba, going through preparations with her Olympic coaches out in Paris, was oblivious to all this. "I was so involved in the boxing and the Olympics that I'd shut out everything from the outside world," she says. "I deleted all social media and was closed off to everything except WhatsApp, which the team was using for our group chat. If you told me that there was this kind of trouble at home I wouldn't have believed you, because that's not my Bolton. We get on together here. It's why I love the place." The screening went on regardless, with more than 100 people packing into the gym, which occupies the first floor of a red brick former factory overlooking the Pennine Hills, to see Ngamba win. There were people of all colors and nationalities cramming in here to see Bolton's refugee fighter, relates Matyenko. "It was so important for the community. And so, at that time of whipped-up mistrust of immigrants, was Ngamba's story. It's the story of a 10-year-old girl, now aged 25, who arrived here from the Cameroonian coastal city of Douala with an elder brother to live with their father, Jerome, a taxi driver. Her mother, Jacite, whose jobs in Cameroon had included selling cars and making coffins, had left for France, where her brother lived. For a time, the shy schoolgirl with minimal English struggled. She found herself singled out for her weight, her hair and the way she spoke. And then I was given one of the leaflets," she relates, describing flyers for the local Bolton Lads and Girls Youth Club, where boxing, a sport she had never encountered before, would give her purpose, direction and the respect of peers. "I saw loads of boys stepping out of a room and wondered, where have they just come from," she says of the gym, which she first entered at the age of 15. "I stepped inside that room and saw boxing rings, boxing bags and I felt the smell of boxing. I loved that smell and wanted some of that. There were white kids, black kids, Asian kids. I was the only female but they just looked on me as someone who wanted to try out." In many ways, her story resembles that of Mo Farah, 4 times British Olympic gold medalist, who also arrived in Britain as a child, and found purpose through sport after difficult early years. But while Farah, who was trafficked here from Djibouti, had a documented legal identity within these shores, Ngamba reached adolescence to find that she did not. As a child, you're more bothered about making friends, adapting to the lifestyle, learning the language, being a teenager, than things like that, she says. It was when I left school and was going to college, that I started thinking about what my career was going to be and my future. It was at that time that I needed to have an ID. Your friends tell you that they're going to this country and that country and ask you where you're going. And I'm like, staying in Bolton. And then you learn about holidays and how you need a passport for them. Then you learn you're an immigrant and can be kicked out at any time. She made a lot out of staying put, progressing from Bolton College to a degree course at the University of Bolton, where she eventually graduated with a BA in Crime and Criminal Justice last year. She outgrew the youth club and moved up to the elite gym behind the gym door. Matyenko attests to the response. We're a working-class sport in a working-class town and people around here take some convincing, he says. But a lot of fighters have looked up to Cindy.